Hello everyone, I welcome you all to Manu Law Classes Current Affair Analysis. In this particular video, we will discuss August 31, The Hindu Delhi edition newspaper. So our first topic is about Karnataka Kaveri water issue. We have already discussed this news quite since a long time. So this is a news in transition as it was ordered by the Supreme Court to release water by the Karnataka government. So Karnataka starts releasing water on the Kaveri Water Management Authority directives. So here the Kaveri Water Management Authority, it has directed Karnataka to release water for the reservoirs of the Tamil Nadu. And from where these waters will be released, it will be from the Krishnaraja Sagar Reservoir, which is located in the Mandya district into the Kaveri. Okay, so just remember this important reservoir, that is the Krishna Sagar Reservoir. It is in the Mandya district. Okay, so this is an important place in news which has been there. So from here the water has been released into the Kaveri for the Tamil Nadu so that they can fulfill their needs and they can also use the water for other purposes as well. Now next topic is about China doubles down on the new map. We have already discussed about the new map. What is this? In the new map, there was Arunachal Pradesh, which was shown in the China territory, which was shown as the China's territory. So here in the new standard map of 2023, India obviously has protested, and here as there was a case of all the Indian state or the Chinese border Indian state, that is Arunachal Pradesh, Aksai Chin, as well as the South China Sea. Major part of these areas, they are here under the Chinese control. They are shown under the Chinese control in this new map. Moving further toward our next important article, that is coming in from the state section, and here a very important news is that Mathil Thakur will spread awareness about climate change through songs. So the National Institute of Disaster Management, it has appointed Mathil Thakur to conduct an awareness campaign in parts of the country which has been affected by the climate change. So just remember this important personality and this important news. So she will be singing in over 20 regional languages and she will travel across the different part of the countries in order to raise awareness, and this will be a part of the organizations or the NIDM's early warning for all campaign. Okay, and here she will go and meet the families in the region, and there she will basically spread awareness through her song in the regional language. She has been a resident of Madhubani district, Bihar's Madhubani district, and she has seen all these problems which is related to the climate change, and that's why she is taking a very bold move towards this climate change initiative. Moving further toward our next important article, that is coming in again from the state section, and here there are news about a very important species, that is the red sand boa species. So the Wildlife Conservation Society of India, it has reported flags illegal trade of the red sand boa. The Wildlife Conservation Society, it has issued a report which has pointed out 172 incidents of seizure of the red sand boa or the Iris zoni. It is the scientific name of red sand boa between 2016 to 21. As said by the report, it was compiled by the Counter Wildlife Trafficking Unit of the WCS or the Wildlife Conservation Society India. It has been titled, the report has been titled as Illegal Trade of Red Sand Boa in India 2016 to 21. So it is basically giving the information that these particular species, are traded, and they are traded for exploitation and beyond the limit, and it is causing them to be in a list of near threatened. So here there has been a document which shows the incidence of 172 unique media record which involved the illegal sand boa trade from 2016 to December 2021, and 15 of these red sand boas, they are alongside the other wildlife species with 157 recording only about the sand boa species. So these are very critically endangered, or we can say these are very sensitive, not critically endangered actually. These are very sensitive organism and they belong to the list of near threatened, and here in near threatened list of the IUCN of the red sand boa, it has been decreasing population because of there is a habitat destruction. Okay, because of the habitat destruction, there has been a case of these species being affected. So here, in order to bring the light of the trade in the red sand boa, especially the online trade, there is a need of developing a better understanding, and to stop these trade, the government is already taking steps, and they have recorded 18 states and union territory, which is covering 87 districts across the India, and the highest number of these illegal trade was recorded in Maharashtra, which is often urban areas as the district of Pune, Thane, Rajgarh, and the suburb of the Mumbai. So these are the areas where this trade is very prominent. The second highest number is coming from the Uttar Pradesh, and also along the international border of UP, that is from the Nepal, such as the district of Bahraich and Lakhimpur Kheri. These species are recognized or acknowledged as most traded reptiles in the illegal trade market, and they are covered in the near threatened status of the IUCN. Okay, just remember the status. And soon, if the exploitation will continue, so definitely they can become critically endangered. But now they are not critically endangered, they are near threatened. क्यों इसको ट्रेड इतना किया जाता है? Because of the demand in the pet trade as well as in the black magic. That's why these areas of Maharashtra and UP, where there are instances of black magic prominence, so that's why these particular organisms are, these particular species are being traded. It has been pointed out that illegal trade of the sand boa is likely prevalent in India, with concentrated in area of Maharashtra and UP, where the traders mainly deal with the live species. Okay, so this was about this whole news. Just remember about this species, its IUCN status. I have already taught in my previous DNA about the IUCN, so just remember about this body and about the critically or the near threatened status of this red sand boa and why they are being traded so much. Okay, so this was about this whole article. Moving further toward our next important article, that is about the Karnataka government as it launched Gruha Lakshmi scheme. It was launched by the party president Mallikarjun Kharge and Congress MP Rahul Gandhi in Mysuru. So here they both launched in order to replicate the model of governance in Karnataka. They represented by the guarantee schemes. So they have basically launched this flagship scheme named Gruha Lakshmi scheme. Just remember, Gruha Lakshmi scheme is related to Karnataka, and it is the fourth of the 5 guarantee which envisages payment of 2,000 every month to women head of the families. And also here there will be a governance model which will be set up, and here it will replicate the work taken by the government of Karnataka, particularly for the empowerment of the women. So Karnataka is showing more bent toward women empowerment, and that's why it is launching these kind of schemes. Moving further toward our next important article that is coming in from the editorial section. So here we have a news about the need for an Indian system to regulate artificial intelligence. We have discussed quite since a long time about the artificial intelligence, about the generative AI. That is what generative AI में आपका क्या आता है, जैसे चैट जीपीटी हो गया, जिसमें आपका, या डीप फेक्स भी हम कह सकते हैं, they are a part of generative AI where they are producing an image or text by themselves, by writing themselves. These AI is using, developing all these things by themselves, and there is no need of human. यहाँ पे आपका machine intelligence जो है वो काम आ रहा है, and it is generating a very good type of articles, type of pictures, which can't be differentiated. In case of deep fakes, it can't be differentiated, or it can never be found out that these are fakes, because it is done in such a beautifully manner that there is a lot of effort will be required to find that these are fake images. So this is what the generative AI is. So AI has definitely a capability to fundamentally change the way we work, as we can use chat GPT for our projects, for our assignments, and definitely for any author who can write the book using the chat GPT. We can use chat GPT to make our articles SEO friendly. So these are the various ways in which artificial intelligence or generative artificial intelligence is working. So it is by assimilating the data from the multifarious online sources. They are basically powerful, and they are more powerful. They are providing more powerful, more resources compared to humans. So that's why it can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing, because artificial intelligence doesn't know the difference between right and wrong. They are just working as per the command. So that's why there is a need of regulation, or there is a need of how we can consider that what is right and what is wrong in terms of the generative AI or artificial intelligence. So here there are representation of two types of model, that is of East and that is of West. So here the government is basically working toward the regulation of the artificial intelligence. Here laws have been made by the European Union, Brazil, Canada, Japan, and also by the China. So those countries who belong to West, that is the countries like EU, Brazil, UK, they are basically following a Western system, or they have regulatory measures with differences which is on a closer study and are superficial. While if we talk about the countries of East, that is Japan and China, they are discussing more on the moral ground, that they are emphasizing on the moral ground. So these are the difference between the two types of model which has been there. So Western system have all adopted means of regulation which are intrinsically Western in character, and they are to be founded by the Eurocentric view of jurisprudence. So here the Western model is basically focusing on the risk based approach. They are framing a law, and based on that they are assessing the risk. This risk has been divided into various categories. So the first risk is about, first lawmaker will create a pyramid of the risk, and then they will identify that what are the risks which has been posed by the AI based application. So it has been divided into four categories. First one is the unacceptable risk, second one is the high risk, third one is the limited risk, and fourth one is the low risk. In European Union, the lawmaker has basically prohibited classes of the unacceptable risk. There the बेसिकली इसमें चार तरीके से रिस्क के बेसिस पे कैटेगराइजेशन किया गया है. जैसे आपका अनएक्सेप्टेबल रिस्क है, तो यहाँ पे आपके लॉस बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रिक्ट होंगे, एंड दीज थिंग्स शुड बी कंप्लीटली प्रोहिबिटेड. एंड देन फॉलोड बाय द हाई रिस्क, and then there is a simple set of disclosure based obligation which is there for the low risk, and Brazil to follow these kind of categorization for any law or for any regulation which is related to artificial intelligence. Apart from that, if we look at the Eastern model में आपका जापान आ गया और चाइना आ गया, तो ये लोग क्या करते हैं, they basically call for social principle of human centric AI. It was published by Japanese government in March 2019, and it manifests the basic principle of artificial intelligence society. और यहाँ पे ये basically क्या काम कर रहा है, human centricity से, education literacy से, data protection के साथ साथ यहाँ पे ये सारी चीजें, fair competition, fairness, accountability, transparency, इनके साथ साथ एक नया concept डाल रहा है morality का, that what is morally right and what is morally wrong. This should be done according to that there should be regulation. For example, if we talk about Chinese regulation, जो ओपनिंग लाइन है आर्टिकल 4 की, जो बेसिकली आपका आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस को रेगुलेट करता है, तो वहां पे आपका स्पेसिफिक प्रोविजन दिया हुआ है दैट जनरेटिव आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस सर्विसेज shall be abiding by the law and the administrative regulation, and it should respect the social morality and ethics and abide by the following provisions. So there is a specific emphasis on morality or on social morality. And the law also goes on to prescribe the kind of values which needed to be upheld and which needed to be promoted by the artificial intelligence services. So here we can say in the West modern, what is there? Laws are there and they have to abide by the law, and there is no such thing like morality or all these things. There is just a simple framework of law, and based on that artificial intelligence should work, or the owners of these artificial intelligence should work. But on the other hand, on the eastern side, as it is a best fit, if we relate something with morality, so Indians, or we can say the people belonging to East country, they follow that. So this has been a well tested method, and that's why there is a relation which is taken on the basis of morality. So this was about this whole article. And also there is a cue from the judiciary, Justice V. Rama Subramaniam, he who retired from the Supreme Court of India. He has lamented in more than one judgment that our slavish tendency is to ape toward the western legal system. हम basically western legal system को follow कर रहे हैं. But what should be done? The thing which is best fitted for India is the eastern model, linking that with the morality. Okay, so we should not go for the western concept or western culture. We should focus more on the eastern concept, and here we should adhere to what Japan and China is doing. Niti Aayog has also circulated 3 decision papers which touch upon the EI, and that is their reference only to the AI regulation in the European Union, US and Canada, UK and Australia. So it has gone on the state that the responsible AI discussed earlier in this paper have been developed by first identifying the systematic consideration prevalent among AI system across the world, and here it is basically Indian ethos is basically inclined toward the eastern model, but we are actually following the western model, so we should think about that. Moving further toward our next important article, that is about the Indus Water Treaty. Indus Water Treaty was brokered by World Bank between the India and Pakistan for the sharing of Indus water and the tributaries of Indus water system. Okay, so here through this treaty, India was unrestricted use of 3 eastern rivers, that is the Ravi, Beas and Satluj, while the Pakistan occupies similar right over the 3 western rivers, that is the Indus, Jhelum and Chenab. But on the same hand, it was said that India is also allowed to store 3.60 million acre feet of the Indus and 1.50 on Jhelum, 1.70 on Chenab. So here there is a sector wise division or allocation for general storage, or we can say for the power generation storage. Now what is the issue? Basically the main issue is about 2 Hydel power project, that is the Kishanganga and the Ratle Hydroelectric Project, which is there in India's Jammu and Kashmir, and it is very crucial for India's region, Jammu and Kashmir region development. But according to the IWT Indus Water Treaty, Pakistan is raising concern over the Kishanganga project in 2006 and the Ratle project on Chenab in 2012. What it is saying that in 2010, the dispute of Kishanganga project was taken to the court of arbitration, and here it was said by the Pakistan that India is not following the proper guidelines which is there in the IWT. But in 2013, the COA or the Court of Arbitration delivered in the final judgment, ruling that Kishanganga Hydroelectric Project is a run of the river dam and India under IWT can divert water, but still there has been an issue, and here the Pakistan is again raising concern regarding that. COA has already given a green signal for this Kishanganga project which is there on the Neelam river, and but after that also the Pakistan is raising issue. In the 2016, Pakistan requested the World Bank to form a COA. To this, India requested a neutral expert should be appointed, and at the same time, World Bank paused the work on the Kishanganga and the Ratle project. India's stand is very clear that according to the IWT treaty, it cannot extract water beyond a limit, but it can definitely develop a dam or a river water project, not dam, but a river water project or the hydroelectric project. And that's what India is doing. So this was about the whole issue. This is important from this issue. Now moving further toward our next important article that is coming in from the understanding curbs on the rice export. So here there is a curb. We already know that Indian government has prohibited the export of white rice and levied a 20% export duty on the parboiled rice till October 15. And it permitted the export of basmati rice for contracts with a value of $1,200 a ton or above. Now we know already that India is basically the largest rice exporter globally and 45% share in the world rice market. Overall, rice export in the April-May 2023 was 21.1% higher compared to the same period last financial year. And for the domestic consumers, there is a slight increase in the rice prices, and because of that, these curbs are being imposed. So this was the whole gist of the article. You have to remember that India was the largest exporter, and India is the largest exporter globally with a 45% share in the world rice market in April to May 2023. Okay, so this was the whole article about government has also increased the minimum support price for rice, and the paddy procured now by the rice miller are at a price higher than the MSP. Okay, so that's why this whole issue was in news. Now we have already discussed this news as well about the SIM card changes in the process for the sale of SIM cards. So here on August 17, Union Minister for Telecommunication Ashwini Vaishnav, he introduced two reforms. These include the norms for the bulk procurement of the SIM card and registering the final point of sale by the licensees. It is mandatory for the franchisee, agent and distributor of the SIM card to register with the licensees, the telecom network operator, and the police verification is also mandatory. Mr. Vaishnav also observed that 20% of the bulk produced SIM card was misused, and in the guise of that, a lot of SIM card would be procured and then it would be automated call using the SIM box. Okay, so this was the news. Basically, you cannot purchase bulk SIM card, and in case if you do that, so you have to basically give your important information, and also the franchisee agent and the distributor of the SIM card has to be registered with the licensee or the telecom network operator. And there is a need of police verification because there are a lot of fraud which was going on the issue of the SIM cards, and to curb that, this particular proposal was issued. Okay, moving further toward our next important article that is coming in from the world section. But before that, we will discuss Aditya L1 Mission. So as we know, it has been said by ISRO that on September 2, Aditya L1 Mission will be launched. Here LAM, the acronym LAM means what? Here it is going by the acronym LAM, which will play a crucial role to play the upcoming Aditya L1 mission. Successful operation of the LAM, which is short form of liquid apogee motor, which is vital for this mission. It is very much required that the LAM go as per the plan. That is what liquid apogee motor. Okay. It has been developed by Liquid Propulsion System Center, the ISRO Center of the Liquid and Cryogenic Propulsion in Thiruvananthapuram, and it has played a crucial role in the MOM mission or the Mars Orbiter mission, which was launched in 2040. In simple terms, LAM engines, they will be used for the orbital adjustment maneuver. For example, if it has been released, एक ऑर्बिट में पहले घूमता है, फिर दूसरे ऑर्बिट में अपलिफ्ट करता है, जैसे हमने चंद्रयान 3 में देखा था, फिर तीसरे ऑर्बिट में अपलिफ्ट करेगा, फिर ये जाके L1 में जाएगा. तो ये प्रोसेस करने के लिए आपको LAM की जरूरत होती है, दैट इज द लिक्विड एपोजी मोटर. ओके, आदित्य L1 मिशन जो है ये आपका, हमने ऑलरेडी इसको डिस्कस किया है. इट इज द फर्स्ट स्पेस बेस्ड ऑब्जर्वेटरी क्लास इंडियन सोलर मिशन which is there to study the sun, and it will be launched via the PSLV XL, okay, on September 2 if it go as per the plan. So it will be launched at the landing point 1, which is 1.5 million kilometer away, okay. So this is important from this whole article. Moving further toward our next important article that is coming in about the Global Fund as it secure deal to slash the HIV treatment price to benefit over 19 million. So the Global Fund, it has announced a deal with the generic pharmaceutical manufacturer that will significantly slash the price, or it will reduce the price for HIV or the human immunodeficiency virus drug, and it will save a lot of lives. So what is the Global Fund? Global Fund is a partnership which has been set up in 2002 in order to battle AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria, and it will make possible to provide pills, or we can say medicines, which is known as TLD, under $45 per person per year. And there has been significant reduction with this particular amendment or with this particular deal, and there will be a significant or 25% reduction in the prices of these pills. So the 3-in-1 pill, it bands together the drug tenofovir, bisoproxil, fumarate, levuminide and dolutegravir. Okay, so these are the important medicine, and WHO is also recommending that as a first line HIV drug for the treatment of adolescent and adults. So this is all for today. I hope you liked this lecture. I hope you got to know a lot of things. Thanks for listening. Thanks for staying tuned. Thank you everyone.